We are on the brink of a massive change in how pretty much everything we buy is made, tracked, and sold. And it all revolves around something called the digital product passport. So in this explainer, we're going to break down how one platform, Modus DPPI, is designed to turn what looks like a new compliance headache into an incredible intelligence engine.
But first, let's kick things off with a pretty fundamental question. For decades, right, regulation has been seen as a cost. It's a box-ticking exercise you have to get through. But what if we could flip that script entirely? What if the very data you need for compliance could actually unlock brand new levels of profit, sustainability, and real innovation? Just keep that question in mind as we go.
Because, this isn't some far-off, maybe one day kind of thing. The clock is ticking. By 2026, the European Union is going to mandate that garments sold there must have a digital product passport. And this isn't just a fancy new label, folks. We are talking about a complete digital identity, a digital DNA for every single item. This creates a really urgent need for a solution that's way more than just a simple database.
So, here's our plan for the next few minutes. First, we'll get a handle on the mandate that's changing the game. Then, we'll see how intelligence can be baked in from the very start. We'll follow a single product's digital twin. Then we'll scale that up to see the view for a whole company, look at how trust is built into the system, and finally, check out the roadmap for a full-on business transformation. Okay, first up, this new product mandate. What's driving all this is a huge push from the EU, with regulations like ESPR. They're demanding a level of transparency we've just never seen before. We're talking about the entire life cycle of a product, from the raw materials in the bill of materials down through the entire supply chain, its chemical makeup under rules like REACH, and even its potential for a second life through circularity. This is the challenge, but it's also a massive opportunity.
So how on earth do you tackle a challenge that big? Well, this brings us to the core philosophy behind the Modus platform. You've got to shift from being reactive to being proactive. So instead of scrambling to gather up compliance data after a product is already made, Modus is designed to embed that intelligence right at the very beginning, at the point of design.
And this quote right here just nails the central idea. Think about it. When a designer chooses a specific fabric or a type of wash or a supplier, that's not just a creative choice anymore. In the Modus DPPI system, every single one of those decisions is a data point you can measure. And that data point has a real impact on cost, on carbon, on water usage, you name it. And every single one of those impacts gets rated in real time. So the crucial concept here is what Modus calls DPPI, or Digital Product Passport Information. And here's the key thing to get. This is not some static report you generate at the very end. No, it's a living, breathing intelligence record that gets built as the designer is actually working. It's dynamic, it's structured, and it captures everything. The bottom line, the very first design brief literally becomes the foundation for the final product passport.
So how does this actually work in practice? Let's trace the journey of a single product's digital twin, taking it from just an idea all the way to a fully compliant, regulator-ready digital passport.
Now, the journey kicks off right here, in the design brief builder. You've got to think of this as the single source of truth. It is the birthplace of the digital twin. Every single one of these selections isn't just text in a box, it's a live data point that immediately starts feeding the intelligence engine. And this is where it gets really cool. Watch this. A designer selects a 14-ounce organic cotton, and bam, the carbon and cost metrics update instantly. They choose a heavy stone wash, boom, the system recalculates the water and chemical impact. They add a poly bag for packaging, the plastic score changes. You can even change the target market, and it instantly adjusts the logistics emissions. It's a live cause and effect loop. And that data doesn't just sit there. It flows, seamlessly and automatically, into this, the DPPI Compliance Hub. This is where all that creative magic becomes regulator-ready. The information gets structured into the exact pillars the EU requires: a transparent bill of materials, full supply chain traceability right down to the component level, and auditable sustainability metrics. No more duplicate data entry, no more chasing spreadsheets.
And the journey ends here, in the digital registry. This is it, the final, official digital product passport. It gets a unique system ID, verification badges showing it's compliant and traceable, and a scannable QR code that's ready for consumers, partners, and regulators. It is the culmination of that very first design brief, now transformed into a trusted, auditable asset.
Okay, so creating one perfect digital passport is impressive. But how do you manage hundreds or even thousands of products? This is where we zoom out.
And Modus scales from a product tool into a real strategic weapon, moving from a single passport to intelligence across your entire portfolio. And this is where the intelligence really shines. A dashboard like this heat map on the left instantly shows you where the systemic risks are in your business, all those red squares. But it doesn't just show you the problem. The AI copilot can identify the root cause and then offer a specific, data-driven solution. That's the huge leap from just seeing data to actually making a decision.
Think of the AI copilot as your strategic partner. You can literally ask it why a score is red. You can ask what specific change will turn it green. And crucially, it can even suggest alternatives that don't kill your profit margin, and it can run simulations to show you the impact of big decisions before you ever have to commit.
So what do these RAG ratings, that's red, amber, and green, actually measure? Well, it's not just about the environment. The rating is multidimensional. Yes, of course, it tracks environmental impact like carbon and water, but it also rates customer satisfaction, brand alignment, cost viability, and even the product's circularity potential, like its repairability score. It's designed to balance purpose and profit.
Now, all this intelligence is pretty useless without trust. I mean, for regulators, suppliers, and your own teams to actually rely on this data, the entire ecosystem has to be auditable, secure, and totally transparent.
Modus builds this trust on several key pillars. Every single change is time-stamped, creating a full version history. Access is strictly controlled by role, so suppliers can contribute their data securely without risking their intellectual property. The platform is designed to be interoperable, so it connects with the ERP and PLM systems you already use. And critically, it supports global standards like GS1 and ISO, so the data is structured correctly from the get-go.
Now this right here is the view from the cockpit. The Transformation Management Hub gives leadership a real-time dashboard of the entire company's readiness. It tracks high-level metrics like your overall ESG alignment, your progress against new mandates, and the compliance level across the whole organization. It's the tool for steering the entire company through this change.
And all of this brings us to the ultimate goal. The Modus DPPI platform isn't just about meeting that 2026 deadline. It's really a roadmap for transforming your entire business into a truly regenerative enterprise.
To really understand this, we need to see the product a little differently. It's not just an item you sell. It is the central thread that connects every single part of your value system, your suppliers, your internal processes, your customers, and your ultimate impact on the planet. And the DPPI is the digital anchor for that entire thread.
The Value System Explorer makes all of this visible. It maps out the entire product lifecycle, from the raw material design all the way to its end-of-life intelligence, like disassembly and recycling pathways. This view allows leadership to actually see the ripple effects of a single decision, visually identify hotspots, and understand the true end-to-end impact of their operation.
Which brings us back to this really powerful idea. Let this one sink in. Modus DPN is not a compliance tool, it is a design-time intelligence system. Its entire purpose is to make sustainability, profitability, and regulation completely inseparable, right from the moment a product is first conceived. So we'll end where we began, with a question for you to think about. As regulations like the digital product passport become the new normal, is the huge amount of data tied to your products a looming liability and a cost center? Or, with the right intelligence system, could it become your single greatest strategic asset?